If you think cold email doesn't work, you're probably looking at it the wrong way. Right now, companies are booking meetings every week using cold email, while most businesses avoid it completely. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you what a real cold email system looks like, why it works, and the 5 essentials that turn it into real revenue instead of spam. Inbound marketing builds long-term assets like SEO, content, and branding, but sometimes you need conversations this week, not months from now. That's why most businesses feel the immediate gap with ads. But there's a core problem with ads. When the ads stop, the leads also stop. There's no residual effect. It's a dollar for click exchange. So when your budget ends, so do your leads. The problem isn't that you don't have options, it's that most of the options are slow, expensive, or both. Cold email gives you a direct way to reach prospects right away without waiting on ads or content marketing. This means reaching decision makers directly instead of waiting for them to find you. You define who you want to talk to, craft a message to get their attention, and send it directly to their inbox. The feedback loop is fast. You'll know within days whether the message resonates. The cost alone should make you reconsider cold email. Before I go deeper, make sure you subscribe. I break down how to build systems that consistently generate clients, not just traffic. So when the system is built properly, the cost per conversation runs 50 to 80% lower than paid advertising. Most service businesses are paying between $350 to $800 for a qualified conversation through ads. A well-built cold email system delivers the same conversation for $75 to $200. I'm Rod Agatep, and I help service businesses build ecosystems that consistently generate conversations and turn them into clients. When done right, cold email is one of the most efficient ways to generate conversations. And the reason is simple. It reaches the right people with the right message at the cost that beats most outbound channels. Over the next 10 minutes, I'll show you exactly how a cold email system works. I'll give you the 5 essential components and the 3 failure patterns that turn opportunity into risk. So imagine this scenario. Every Monday morning, the sales team receives 8 new replies from prospects who match their ideal customer profile. These are conversations most businesses wait for rather than create. They aren't automated replies or unsubscribe requests. These are genuine replies from business owners and decision makers that are expressing interest. These conversations didn't originate from ads or referrals. They were prompted by a targeted, relevant cold email designed to elicit a response from someone who didn't even know your business existed. The CRM system shows a steady inflow of prospects entering the pipeline from cold outreach. Each entry has information about the company, the decision maker, and the specific message that prompted a response. Instead of starting from zero, the sales rep starts with a warm lead from decision makers who showed interest. To quantify the impact of a properly built cold email system, a well-built email system targeting the right audience produces a reply rate of 5 to 15%. This campaign will also yield a positive reply rate of 2 to 8%. Most businesses either ignore cold email completely, or if they do try it, they do it so poorly that they end up proving to themselves that it doesn't work. For a campaign sending 1,000 targeted emails per month, that's 20 to 80 qualified conversations. At a 15 to 25% close rate, that's 3 to 20 new clients per month. All of this from a channel that costs a fraction of the cost of paid advertising. Cold email that produces a result is a system, not a single tactic. It has 5 essential components. 1, a targeted prospect list. 2, short, human-sounding emails. 3, a well-designed follow-up sequence. 4, a deliverability infrastructure. And 5, ongoing testing and optimization. Each one matters. A great email sent to the wrong list is a failure, or a poorly crafted email to the right list won't produce the results that you want as well. So let's go through each of the 5 essential components. First, you need to build a targeted prospect list. This means identifying the exact contacts who fit your ideal customer profile. This is the foundation. Every cold email campaign that fails starts with the same mistake, a bad list. Either the contacts don't match the ideal customer profile, the data is outdated, or the list was purchased from a vendor that scraped unverified email addresses. A successful campaign starts with a precisely defined prospect profile. The tighter the profile, the more relevant your messaging. In fact, list quality accounts for 40% of the overall campaign performance. The best copywriting can't save a message that's sent to the wrong people. If you invest time anywhere, make your list the priority. Second, Write human-sounding cold emails that get replies. These have three things in common. They're short, they're specific, and they sound like a real human wrote them. In general, they have 3 to 5 sentences. Open with a line that shows you understand the recipient's current situation. Then state what you do in one sentence that connects with their situation. And finally, make a low-friction ask. But here's what really distinguishes the cold emails that get replies from those that get deleted. Decision makers instantly recognize insincere marketing language. Terms such as leverage, synergy, innovative solutions, or best in class. These immediately categorize a message as sales spam. You need to communicate as you would with a peer at an industry event. Professional, direct, and respectful. Third, the follow-up. Most replies to cold emails don't come from the first message. Most replies come from the follow-ups. In fact, 60 to 70% of positive responses appear in the second through the fifth email in the sequence. Yet many businesses send one email, they get no reply, and they assume the prospect isn't interested. They stop, and because of this, miss out where most results actually occur. A proper follow-up sequence has between 4 to 6 emails. These are spaced out over 3 to 5 days, and each email offers a new angle, value, or framing of their situation. The final breakup email often produces the highest reply rate of all. Step 4 is the setup of the deliverability infrastructure. To ensure your emails reach the inbox rather than the spam folder, you need to have the right settings. None of this matters if your emails land in spam. Deliverability is a technical foundation, and it's the element that most businesses don't understand. The thing you must not do is send cold emails from your primary domain. Doing so can tank your domain's reputation and send your emails to spam, including client communications. Cold emails should always be sent from a separate sending domain that's been properly warmed. Second, you need to set up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records to authenticate your sending domain. Sending domain warming is also required and takes between 3 to 6 weeks. Next, let's look at sending volume management. Typically, 10 to 20 emails per mailbox per day will keep your domain safe. Most cold email features come down to deliverability. Well-written emails and accurate targeting will accomplish nothing if your infrastructure prevents the email from reaching the recipient. Step 5, test and optimize. Continuously measure results, experiment with variations, and improve based on insights. Cold email is one of the most testable marketing channels. Subject lines reveal if your headlines work. The positive reply rates show if your copy and your offer resonate. To effectively optimize your emails, you can do the following. 1. Test 2 or 3 subject lines per batch. 2. Experiment with different offers. And 3. Switch up the offer. After a few cycles, most campaigns double or even triple their performance. This speed makes cold email highly valuable compared to slower channels. Setup takes 3 to 6 weeks. This includes building the list, configuring the sending infrastructure, warming domains, and writing the sequences. Once campaign emails go out, replies typically start coming in a few days later. By week 4 or 5, you have meetings booked. To optimize, we follow the following schedule. Months 1 and 2 are about testing and optimization. We test subject lines and refine the messaging to increase email response rates. Months 3 through 6 are for scaling. We start adding volume to what's working and look at expanding to adjacent prospect segments. With cold emails, meetings can be scheduled within 30 days. No other outbound method delivers that combination of speed and cost. Now, there are 3 mistakes that turn cold email into a channel that costs more than it produces. The first mistake, volume without verification. Companies will fail if all they do is buy a list of 10,000 emails, load them into a sending platform, and blast a campaign without checking its validity. All this is going to do is give you a bounce rate of 20% or higher, get your sending domain flagged, and tank your deliverability. The fix is threefold. 1. Verify every address before sending. 2. Use dedicated sending domains. And 3. Monitor bounces and remove invalid addresses immediately. The second mistake is writing like the marketing department. Long formatted emails with bold text, bullet points, company logos, and multiple call to actions. Email filters and humans immediately see this as a marketing email. Cold email works best when it looks like a normal email. Plain text, short sentences, one idea, one ask. The moment it looks like marketing, people delete it or mark it as spam. The third mistake is ignoring compliance. Cold email has rules that you need to follow depending on where you live or where your prospects live. Some things that can get you into trouble are missing unsubscribe links, no physical address in the email, inaccurate sender information. Any of these creates legal issues and damages sender reputation. The fix: know the laws in your jurisdiction and make sure that you have a functioning unsubscribe link in every email, that you have a real physical address, and immediately remove the person when requested. Compliance isn't optional, it's foundational. And here's where cold email fits in the bigger picture. Cold email is a pipeline accelerator that produces immediate conversations while your other channels build momentum. Content marketing and SEO can take months before you start getting results. Brand awareness builds gradually over time. On the other hand, cold email can generate meetings next week. But in general, all the channels reinforce each other in different ways. When a cold email prospect visits your website before replying, they see authoritative content, case studies, and proof that you could accomplish what you claimed you could do. All of this increases the likelihood of a positive response. When a prospect replies and enters your sales pipeline, having an email nurture system keeps the relationship alive during the sales cycle. When your cold email system identifies a high-value prospect who doesn't respond immediately, account-based outreach can escalate them into a multi-channel campaign. It's important to understand that cold email isn't a standalone channel. It's an accelerator inside an ecosystem that surrounds prospects with authority, proof, and nurturing from every direction. If your pipeline isn't where it should be this month, this is one of the fastest ways to fix it. You don't need to wait for leads. You could start the conversation yourself. If you want to see exactly how this would work in your business, the link in the description has everything you need to get started. And if you want to see how to integrate your cold email into a system that consistently brings in clients, watch this next video right here. If this helped, make sure you subscribe. I break down every piece of building a client acquisition system that actually works.